Yo! Hey everybody! Trends are one of those things that don't really seem to be going away, kind of like cockroaches. That's why I'm making another industrial design trends video for 2022. Like every year, I'm going to show you the trends for form, details, and finishes, and I'm also going to design some cool products on the way. So let's do a speaker, a microphone, and some earbuds. Let's go! So let's get started. As always, we have the trends for forms, details, and finishes, and we're going to jump right into it. So this year's first trend is Thiccc Bois. Basically, this means making something that visually looks very chunky, definitely more thick than you expect to see for a similar product. Practically, this means doing more of a 1-to-1 aspect ratio, so something like 4-to-5. It's something fun, something kind of fluffy, something chunky, and I really like it. That kind of makes it a really nice choice for something like this delivery robot. I'm not really sure how well this turned out on the Mac, but you know, they tried. It's kind of cool to see that designers are moving away a bit from just making everything look really slim and skinny and thin as possible. So I think it's time to start trying to use some of these trends. Let's see if we can design a chunky speaker. Okay, so I got this little fat speaker boy modeled up here. It's a lot thicker and wider than I think you normally see a desktop speaker, and that's kind of what makes it cool actually. So the next trend we have this year is the bouillon, putting a couple shapes together. So we have like these two boxes here stuck together. It's kind of a really elegant solution, you know? It's really simple, but it also makes things very interesting, very technical. It's also kind of a nice way to say the product does one thing with one part of the product and another thing with another part of the product. This might be kind of cool to try out on a microphone. I don't think I've seen that before, so let's put it together and see what happens. So I got this microphone modeled up. It's pretty cool and unique already. We just have kind of two rectangles here, and this is sort of a stylistic pop filter, if you know what that is. The next form trend we have this year is the cone. Step into the cone soon. It's not only something great to hold your ice cream, but it also makes for a really cool shape to start your product off with. It's something really versatile. It's a really basic, strong visual shape, but also it can be really stable if you need it to. Let's see if we can use this as a starting point for some earbuds. I'm not really sure how that would actually work. I'm gonna have to try a couple things out, and yeah, that seems like a way to go. Let's try that. So I got these earbuds modeled up. We got this cone shape going into kind of this part that sticks in your ear, and maybe you can grab them and pull them out of your ear holes. It's a good starting point. I think it probably needs some work on the details, but we'll fix it as we go. Let's jump into our details. I always like to make things a bit more sustainable, and what I've seen a lot this year and what's really cool is this trend of design for repairability. So this is basically designing something in a way where if it breaks, then it's really easy to repair. You can disassemble the product into all its parts and replace anything that may have break or worn off. Thanks iFixit for pushing everybody to do this. I also seen raw aluminum making a comeback this year, so you definitely saw this on this teenage engineering thingy. Plus aluminum is really nice because you can recycle it like 1,000,000 times. So you could say raw aluminum is the bonus trend of this year. Bonus trend. Let's see if this could be something cool for our microphone. So now I had some screws in the back panel so you can really easily get into this thing and repair anything if it breaks. You break it, repair it. Moving on. This one is wild. I call this the AI generated texture. Stuff like this wasn't even really possible a few years ago. You saw Adidas, I can never say it right, experimenting with this for a while, but now it seems like it really became mainstream. Designing with this has now become a lot more accessible. It's really cool functionally because it gives you a lot of fine control over the properties of a product, like how strong it is or how stiff it is. It kind of gives this cool organic-y performance vibe to it that you don't really see in a lot of other design styles. So maybe performance is a good thing for a microphone. Let's see if we add this. I'm not really sure how it's going to work. Wow, this really is like something really crazy and interesting, huh? I guess this little ramen noodle structure here filters the sound. Before it was interesting, now it looks like it's a performance mic. Sometimes you have something that looks like it's more two forms, but you really want it to look like it's something that's one continuous flowing form. I call them these smooth blends, and it really takes two shapes that really don't fit together logically and just makes this kind of smooth transition in between them to make them flow and fit. It's something that's really deceptively hard to do. Getting these really nice surfaces in 3D programs is notoriously such a big pain, and it's something that gives a soft kind of feeling to a product. kind of flowy, just feels good, and overall just brings the whole product together. This is exactly the problem we're having in the earbuds. Let's see if we can add this into our earbuds. Cool, so now I blended these two shapes together that were just kind of separate before, and now it's really starting to look like one continuous product. Now that we did the forms and details, let's jump into the finish trends. Remember in the 90s when everything was made out of transparent plastic? Well, now it's back, definitely in full force. What's on the inside that counts. It gives your product a really technical feeling, almost a little bit of a retro vibe, but also is a nice way to make like a big kind of traditionally boring surface really interesting because you're seeing everything that's on the inside of it. Cool to see this coming back so hard. Let's see if we can try this out on our speaker. Oh yeah, that transparent plastic really changed it completely, huh? It's totally new character, really technical. Wow, I actually didn't expect it to turn out this interesting already. Let's keep going and see what happens. Ooh, now we're starting to get into some color. I actually have two colors this year. The first one, I call it the yellow pop. Okay, you know, making products really easy to use is really important, and that's actually why it's really cool to see this yellow pop trend. It's really being used to direct your eye to the most important part of a product, or maybe a part you interact with. It really gives a product a light, fun, happy feeling. Everything doesn't always have to be boring and serious. So I think we definitely made our speaker very complicated right now, so maybe actually adding this yellow will actually make it a little bit more simple and easier to understand. You know, those little details are what really make it special. And actually this yellow on the button really helps make it kind of understandable. You know, the thing you're going to use most of the time, the volume up and volume down, that's really highlighted now. Really cool where we ended up. I didn't really think we were going to get there from where we started, but let's call this one good. What's the color of this year? It is naturally green, all kinds of greens, all the natural colors, forest greens, earth greens, mossy greens, basically any green you expect to find in nature. It's a really relaxing color. It can make your product feel very calm. And I also think it plays into the ideas of sustainability. Please just make sure you're not greenwashing and claiming something's sustainable when it's not. That'd be bad. I really like this natural feeling color. Now that our earbuds are softened up with that smooth blend, maybe we can try adding this green in and see if it gives it that last little detail. It really makes it special. Oh yeah, that green's really taking it up a notch. It's funny how the color changes so much actually. Nice. Now I think that's a really good solid earbud. You would buy that. You know, let's also add a little bit of green to the microphone while we're at it. It just needs a little bit of something, you know? Oh yeah, that's really cool and crazy. This is probably the most unique microphone you're ever gonna see. Cool, thanks trends. So that's the trends for this year. Thanks to all the designers who let me feature their amazing work. You can find links in the description below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Let's go!